Well, this is a quote, "Without a doubt, the most intimidating and oddly comforting man she's ever met." That's how Lexy Rogers describes celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay. And she should know because Lexy made it to the top 9 on Fox TV's MasterChef competition.
A young Air Force wife and mom of 4 small kids, Lexy Rogers is a private chef.
Lexy.
She made a name for herself on season 11 of Fox's MasterChef program. Chef Lexy knows all too well what it takes to feed a family of 6 every day and wants to help other busy parents. With her brand new book, Break Bread on a Budget, Lexy shares her tips and tricks to help even large families eat well for much less.
Please welcome to the 700 Club, Chef Lexy Rogers. It's wonderful to have you here.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here.
And you bring some great ideas that we're going to look at in just a minute. But let's just talk about you first. You're an Air Force mom. Thank you for your service and all of that, because the whole family serves. We know that. And you've got 4 children, 5 and under?
Yes, I do.
Wow.
My eldest is 5, and then all 3 girls. We kept trying for another boy and failed miserably.
They've given up. Well, talk a little bit about your passion for cooking, because usually this isn't something somebody just picks up. There's something in their background. Where did yours come from?
Yes, mine came from my grandma, Mama Ann. She would have people over and she would cook for people, and even if people weren't supposed to come over and just showed up, the first thing she asked is, "Oh, do you guys want something to eat? Are you hungry?" Yeah, food was definitely her love language, and it just kind of became mine as well.
That's a great legacy to have passed on to you, because we do a lot over food in our culture, right?
Absolutely.
Well, you were, when you competed in MasterChef, 6 weeks pregnant?
Yes.
6 weeks pregnant. What was that like?
That was difficult.
Smelling various foods at that point is
very
probably
nauseous,
not great.
Smelling all the food. Yes, it was tiring. I was very tired. I was, sick. But it was also a great experience for me. I felt like I made a lot of good friends. Yeah. It was a great, time to...
Maybe it took your mind off of some of that, although you were battling morning sickness.
I was battling morning sickness. Yeah, I was. So when I first got into the kitchen, definitely did not take my mind off of it. Wow. But then afterwards, while you're cooking and when you're presenting your dishes, then it all just kind of goes away and the nerves take over.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that got Gordon Ramsay's attention with you was your $40 a week grocery budget.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit. How did you establish that?
So we just, kind of laid out what we had coming in, what we had going out, and I was like, you know what? I feel like I can make dinner for us.
Pull it in a little, tighten it.
Yeah. And he was like, well, how little do you think? I was like, well, let's try $40. And it just worked.
Wow.
We reused a lot of ingredients. We took leftovers and made them new meals a lot. And so just trying to be savvy as possible.
Well, there are lots of people watching right now who are in budget necessity positions. Can you give us some money-saving tips for grocery shopping? Because at the same time that a lot of people are feeling that, the cost of food has risen. So
exactly.
What do you suggest people do?
I think, honestly, one of the things that makes us spend the most when we go grocery shopping is that we're doing it like last minute, like, oh, I forgot to get this thing, or I need this for this ingredient. And if you write out a list and you say, okay, these are the meals I'm going to make this week, what ingredients do I have in my kitchen that I can already use for these things, and what things do I need? You would see, in my opinion, a drastic shift in how many ingredients you're actually buying at the grocery store.
So having a plan is a big deal. I sometimes start down the road on things I want to make and realize I don't have something I thought I had.
Exactly.
And so checking before you go.
Right, that was me as well. I'd be like, oh, I feel like eating this today, and then go out to the store and get it. But I don't even realize I might maybe have some of that stuff already, or I could have used the meat from last night for something else, and just trying to be smart with what we already have. Exactly.
Finding out what your options are. Well, speaking of options, you have a great cookbook. I really loved it. I love the way it's laid out. The pictures in it are beautiful. And you're really we're looking today at a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner, and then an amazing dessert. So the cookbook is called Break Bread on a Budget. So let's start with breakfast. These are frittatas.
Yes, these are my mini frittatas. I make them in little cupcake dishes in the oven. Scrambled eggs. I put a little bit of sausage in there, some spinach, onions, green pepper. You can put in there whatever you like, honestly. Whip it up and throw it in the oven, and then you have breakfast on the go.
And are those freezable?
Yes, you can absolutely freeze them, and reheat them in the microwave. You can send them for the kids. Say, hey, we'll grab a couple of frittatas, put them in the microwave.
That's a great fast morning breakfast. I like that. I'm not usually very good at eating breakfast. So let's move down the line a little bit. Talk about, these are Monte Cristo sandwiches for lunch.
Yes. So these are crescent rolls that came from a can. Unrolled it, lined them with some deli meat, a little bit of cheese. You can bake them in the oven, you can fry them too, but baking is less messy and a little bit quicker. And then I paired it with the raspberry jam. That's great to dip it in.
Anything with raspberry jam is
delicious.
Delicious, exactly. So that's a good lunch. And then look down here for dinner, because this is very, wow, let me see if I can we turn one of these toward the camera, get a good shot of that? Talk about this.
Yeah, so these are my salmon foil pockets.
Wow.
I put a little bit of butter, some olive oil, lemon, rosemary, and asparagus in there, and you wrap it up, and then you can just throw those in the oven. You could throw them on the grill too if you'd like, and everybody can grab a foil, and there's your dinner for the
Wow, ready to go. We're going to do dessert in just a moment, but tell me first of all, when you did MasterChef, I mean, we're looking at things here that you've already experienced, and you've put them in your cookbook, Break Bad on a Budget. But what was it like on the competition? Like, what was the hardest part of that for you?
The hardest part is not knowing when you're going to go next. You know, everybody wants to win, but you also are cheering for everybody as well. And you really want to put your best foot forward. You want to make your best dish. And honestly, we all have bad days sometimes.
Yes.
And so wanting to make sure.
Hopefully not on national television.
Yeah, exactly. You never want to have it on national television, but unfortunately, for a lot of us, except for the winner, we all had a bad day here and there. And so that was hard, not knowing when you step in, okay, is today going to be my day or not?
Yes.
And just trying to,
keep your
fighting.
nerves kind of down. Do you have a way that you did that?
Prayer.
Yeah, well, that works.
Take a deep breath and have a nice little talk with God.
What was Gordon Ramsay really like?
He was, I think, he's just very passionate about cooking. Yeah. And so it comes off as aggression. It comes off as like intimidation. But he really loves what he does, and he loves good food. And so although you're afraid of him, you also really respect him.
Sure, of course. Well, we've got my favorite part of the meal, dessert. And I know you're cooking for a family, so I know you're looking for something that everybody's going to be excited about. So Tell me about this.
So this is taffy apple salad. This is an idea I actually got from my mom. She would make this quite often. It's green Granny Smith apples, Snicker pieces cut up, because we all like a good chocolate bar, mixed with mixed with vanilla pudding and Cool Whip, and you just mix it up. Put it in the freezer to chill.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
Do we put this in there or that in here?
We can dump
this in there. Okay. Okay, chef. Go for it. And then see this extra little one? Hey, Sam.
We mix this up real nice. It comes together really quickly. I like that there's apples in it. It makes me feel like it's somewhat healthy, even though it's
next to the Snicker bars.
Right, even though it's dessert. We're actually making this for 4th of July weekend.
Awesome.
So it's a nice meal to eat outside when it's hot.
So we're seeing this is very easy to put together.
Correct.
Then we have these great
beautiful little
dessert
dishes.
cups here.
You can just toss them in here if you want to.
Okay.
Go
Well,
ahead and do that.
can I film? Because I just want you to see how pretty this can be. There you go. And what we're going to do, ultimately, once we've filled these up. I bet your kids love this.
They do, yeah.
Oops, I'm sorry.
No, you're
your
fine.
finger there.
It's okay.
You're allowed to lick on camera.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so we're not going to fill this whole tray, but what you would do at home if you were making this is take this tray, refrigerate it, but we have the magic of television here, which is wonderful. So let me scoot over here and look at this. Oh, my. They've done well. Okay, I'm going to close this. Whoops. Close this, close this, and look, how pretty. I'm going to set this here so they can get a good camera shot of it. And one for you.
Thank you.
I'm looking for one with a great big Snickers bar on top, personally.
As you should.
Okay, let me take a taste of this. Yeah. Where did you get this?
This is something that my mom came up with.
Wow.
Pretty good. I think the green apples just give it a little bit of tang, It's a really nice summer treat, in my opinion.
fresh for the summer, too.
Yes, exactly.
Fresh treat. Do you have a favorite recipe in your book?
Ooh, I think probably the burger that I came onto the
onto
MasterChef
the show with.
Yes, call it my apron-worthy burger. I would say that's probably my favorite. I love a good burger.
Yes, me too. Well, that's very, very American.
Right.
If you'd like to download these recipes that you've seen here today, all you have to do is log on to cbn.com for many more tasty, budget-friendly recipes and great money-saving grocery tips. You'll want to get a copy of Lexy's new book. It's called Break Bread on a Budget, and it is available nationwide. It's such a good, look at, there it is.
There it is right there.
There it is. Let me show you a picture of that amazing burger. Lexy, thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
So good to have you here. Yeah, wonderful book. Thanks so much.